So, time travel. Now it does make sense why Momonosuke said I have met Roger. I never thought I would hear the words time travel and pirates in the same sentence, but Oda had other things in mind. This chapter is great, there are a lot of great things in it. I really like when the writer breaks new grounds, and Oda did that in this chapter. There is a reason why I don't hear time travel and pirates in the same sentence, because it is really hard to pull it off and to make sense of the story, but Oda did pull it off. Now it is still not explained how they did manage to time travel, but I hope it is not a one-off thing, or only one person is capable of doing this, sending people to the future. It would be great if Oda would add time travel to the story rather than just using it once. I know that time travel is really problematic for the writers and can cause problems to the story, but when something is hard to do, the reward is also big. I think time travel does add another layer to the story, and it does make it even greater. The way how Oda does like to write One Piece, it is clear to see that he leans more on science fiction rather than on fantasy. Time travel is on the edge of science fiction, and in a lot of stories it is part of fantasy and not of science fiction. And that's due to some writers not wanting to do the work and explain how the time travel is happening, or sometimes the story does not allow that, because of the way how it is written. Because in fantasy you don't need to explain how things actually work, but there are times when writers do explain, but usually it's only one sentence or two. But in science fiction you need to explain in details, otherwise the story falls apart. Another question is, in which side does time travel in One Piece falls? Fantasy or science fiction? Before answering this question, let's look at two important things. Number 1, devil fruits. Number 2, what Nekomamushi said to Jack. Let's start with the devil fruits. Devil fruits are the most supernatural things in One Piece, but they are not part of fantasy. Oda made this clear in SBS, where he said a certain professor will explain how they work. So it could be that time travel in One Piece is science fiction, and Oden's wife was the reason why they did manage to come to the future. It could be that there is a time devil fruit that could send people to the future, but the user can use this only once, because after they use this, they die. Just like with Law's devil fruit, he can make someone immortal, but that will cost his life. And this does make sense, and it is not hard to pull it off as a writer. But I personally would like if the time travel is part of fantasy, because that would make the story more interesting and intriguing. Because adding this layer to the story, the possibilities are endless. There are a lot of things that you can do now that were not possible before. And also you can use this to make the characters more important, whether they are good guys or bad guys. Those who can time travel or make it possible for others will be important to the story and to the Straw Hats. But you can also make the bad guys more powerful and dangerous. Now that the time travel is possible, the stakes are higher. Time travel can be utilized for good or bad, but one way or the other it will affect the story. When Jack was torturing Nekomamushi said, "I will not forget that face of yours, Jack. Even when I am no longer of this world, this cat's malice will follow you till the day it curses you to death." Now what Nekomamushi said here, it is purely fantasy. Curses are not part of the science fiction. Something similar we heard in this chapter, that Oden's wife did curse Orochi. So as things are right now, time travel in One Piece could be part of fantasy as much as it could be part of science fiction. Anyway, I said in one of my videos that the reason why some people in Wano hated Lord Oden and did overthrow him is due to his ideas of opening the borders of Wano. And in this chapter this theory is confirmed. We saw that teacher teaching kids how bad Oden was and his ideas and how good Orochi is. But what is interesting in these scenes is that we did learn that Orochi uses two swords style. So this could mean that Zoro will be the one who will fight him. If this will be the case, then this is great. It will be great if the king of Wano will be brought down by a swordsman, who has the sword of the legendary Yuma. I did post a while back a theory that Zoro is from Wano, and if this is the case, then it will make this fight even more special. The new character that Oda did introduce in this chapter, Kishiro Inemuri, looks really interesting. These characters that on the surface look weak and they don't take anything seriously are usually very strong. And that's why I am very interested in this character. In the recent chapters, there was this weird thing that kept happening when Zoro and Luffy were not helping Okiku at all. And it was really weird to see that. Why were they acting that way? And in this chapter we got the answer. Luffy said to her, "You are strong." So that's why they were not helping her. I said something similar could be the case, but I thought they were just respecting her as a warrior, but no, it is due to her being strong. Luffy doesn't say this to a lot of people, and the fact that he said this to Okiku, this means that she is really strong. Anyway, in the next couple of days I will post a theory about who has the time devil fruit now, and I will go in more details on how this devil fruit works. It will be a really interesting theory. Anyway, what did you guys think about this chapter, and do you agree or disagree with what I said, or you have something else to add? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, like and share if you liked this video, subscribe for more One Piece videos, and see you in the next video.